Welcome back to another video. We give away $10 of XRP daily on the channel. To enter the giveaway, just like the video, subscribe with notifications on, and leave a comment in the YouTube comments below. Let's begin with an interesting statement from Ripple co-founder Chris Larsen. Chris Larsen's statement is highlighting the challenges faced by entrepreneurs when trying to disrupt the traditional banking industry. He notes that big banks have significant financial resources and legal support which can be used to maintain their position of dominance, even in the face of potentially disruptive innovations. In the context of XRP, Larsen's statement suggests that the traditional banking industry may be resistant to adopting new technologies like XRP, despite their potential benefits. This resistance could be due to a variety of factors, such as a desire to protect established business models or concerns about regulatory compliance. Larsen's example of peer-to-peer lending being crushed by events that followed the 2008 financial crisis highlights the potential difficulties faced by disruptive startups in navigating the regulatory landscape and gaining mainstream acceptance. Overall, Larsen's statement emphasizes the challenges faced by innovative entrepreneurs in disrupting established industries and suggests that overcoming these challenges will require careful consideration of legal and regulatory frameworks, as well as sustained efforts to build awareness and support for new technologies like XRP.
Right? Otherwise, sometimes you try to go after the big banks. The big banks are fine. They got a ton of money, a ton of lawyers, and you end up crushing all the entrepreneurs. And we saw that after the financial crisis. Peer-to-peer lending, for example, could have been an amazing kind of new type of bank. And frankly, I think it got crushed by things that came out of the financial crisis. That's a bummer.
Swift and Ripple, what do we have here? Are they really telling us Ripple is stronger than Swift for cross-border payments? The Swift network is exploring blockchain but is skeptical about its current readiness to handle real-time retail payments due to its high volume, low latency, and high-capacity traffic requirements. The Swift representative believes that blockchain is more appropriate for areas such as trade finance and correspondent banking, where the proof of data distribution is necessary. Ripple is considered a better solution for cross-border, cross-currency payments rather than real-time payments. If someone called the Swift network old-fashioned, the representative suggests speaking to whim raymakers and believes that only cross-border, cross-currency payment systems consider Ripple, not those in the retail space. The statement suggests that Ripple's strength is in cross-border payments, while blockchain technology is more suitable for other areas. If you have yet to smash the like button, take a moment and go Will Smith that button, because we have a lot more bullish news. Non-fungible tokens are developing on XRP's ledger very fast. Really quick, if you guys want $40 guaranteed for free, sign up with We Bull Deposit just a penny, and you can get up to $3,000 in free stocks. Typically you get $40 to $300, but it's a great offer just for signing up and depositing a penny. You are guaranteed a minimum stock value of $40. Sell your stocks, close your account, do whatever you want, but don't miss out on this awesome promo. It does end soon. Link is in the video description below. Blockchain company Ripple is expanding the use of non-fungible tokens, NFTs, with the winners of its creator fund using the technology to offer exclusive products and content with real-world utility. The implications of NFTs on the XRP ledger are that Ripple is actively investing in and promoting the use of functional NFT projects that blend physical and digital experiences with real-world utility. The XRP ledger provides low-cost, carbon-neutral, instant settlement, and built-in royalty structures that maximize value for NFT creators and their communities to consume content. Ripple's Creator Fund, with a $250 million commitment, provides financial, creative, and technical support to NFT creators, aiming to foster innovation in tokenization and explore new use cases for NFTs. The third wave of winners of the Creator Fund includes 7 independent creators who are expected to lead the future of tokenization. Ripple's executives' prediction that 2023 will be the year of real-world utility appears to be coming true, with the adoption of a tokenization strategy by big brands, musicians, and creators to cultivate relationships directly with their audiences and offer new content distribution channels. The trend towards the bridging of physical products, services, and experiences with the digital world through phygital NFTs is one of the top trends in Web3 that has emerged over the past year, and it has already started to transform the entertainment and media industry, specifically music. And people said banks wouldn't use XRP. Well, how about this? Rumors about a close partnership between Ripple Labs and Bank of America have been circulating for quite some time. A tweet from Linkto now warms up this rumor again and reports a remarkable closeness between the company and the bank. Nick Burafato, director of member sales at Linkto, is reporting in a tweet about a face-to-face conversation with Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, BG, at Ripple Swell 2022 in London, which ended a few days ago. Burafato stated that Garlinghouse was very confident. In an audio message, Burafato said, "I met him first in Singapore in 2009, and he's even more confident today than he was back then. He made it clear that they are ready to settle with the SEC as long as they can get clarity on XRP." The Linkto employee asked if U.S. companies are waiting on the sidelines to get into the game once clarity is achieved by settling the SEC battle. Garlinghouse allegedly said absolutely, and specifically mentioned Bank of America. Bank of America is a huge partner of Ripple, Garlinghouse reportedly said. Further, Burafato quoted the Ripple CEO as saying, "Bank of America stands to gain really big when the settlement happens because they are going to have a huge competitive advantage over their competitors by using ODL and the marketplace." All in all, Garlinghouse was very, very bullish, Burafato stated. Ripple Labs CEO Brad Garlinghouse stated to Linkto Director of Member Sales Nick Burafato at Ripple Swell 2022 in London that Bank of America is going to gain a competitive advantage when the SEC v. Ripple case settles by using ODL in the marketplace. Close ties between Ripple Labs and Bank of America. Headlines about a partnership between Bank of America and Ripple are not new. For the most part, however, it was speculation, as little information was released to the public. However, this changed in April 2020 when head of global banking at BOA, Julie Harris, confirmed the partnership with Ripple in an episode of Bank of America's Treasury Insights podcast. On the topic of what will change in the banking sector over the next 10 years, Harris said Bank of America's first goal is that customers can do anything, anytime, anywhere. To that end, new solutions will be integrated to keep up with the rapid changes in the fintech world. It's not about our platform and our capabilities. It's about you as a client and the infrastructure you have and the ability for us to integrate, whether that's with platforms and capabilities that we built or partnerships that we have with the likes of Ripple or Swift. Harris further elaborated at the time that these are fintechs meet all strict legal and compliance requirements. Initial rumors of a partnership between Ripple and Bank of America date back even further. Chatter first surfaced in 2016 when the two had worked together on a pilot project. However, no details were published at that time. Also, it did not come to light whether the companies used the cryptocurrency XRP in the process. Next, we have a clip from Brad Garlinghouse at the Davos conference, a meeting with many powerful individuals. Brad Garlinghouse stated that Ripple has been profitable for the last 3 to 4 years, generating revenue in the hundreds of millions of dollars. He mentioned that his company had some exposure to FTX, with just over $10 million of XRP leased to them, but he was unsure of what they would get back from it. Regarding the alleged fraud, Garlinghouse believes that some companies were overexposed and found themselves in a stressful situation due to too much debt, but it only represented about 1% of his company's liquid assets, so it's not too consequential to the business. He is hopeful that they will get some or all of it back through the bankruptcy process.
In terms of your revenue growth in 2022, any insight into that?
So we do, I don't know if we publicly talked about this that much, but we have been profitable for the last 3-4 years and measured in the many hundreds of millions of dollars of revenue overall.
Okay, and I want to talk about one part of your business. I was reading through one of your Q3 reports. I think you've done a Q4 one yet, but there was an interesting bit
in my email inbox.
Okay, yeah, let's get to it.
Someone's going to yell at me about that later.
Yeah. Well, the XRP leases part of the business is interesting because something I've learned new as well. These are ultimately sort of outstanding leases you've got going on in Q3 around 35 million worth of XRP outstanding. Just, are you expecting to be able to get that back in the current market environment?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know. We did have some exposure to FTX.
Yeah.
I think we publicly shared before there was around just over $10 million of XRP we had leased to FTX that they used for various things on FTX. What we get back from that, I have no idea. The alleged fraud. We'll see how the bankruptcy stuff plays out. And as I said, regardless of that, again, some companies were way overexposed and I think found themselves in a very stressful situation because they had too much exposure, too much debt, too many of those types of things. And for us, that I think represented about 1% of liquid assets.
The Yahoo Finance Summit Inn has some great telling footage of Brad Garlinghouse as well. The Yahoo Finance All Markets Summit in 2019 featured companies involved in cryptocurrency and blockchain technology. Ripple, which has 2 blockchain products for faster cross-border payments and liquidity for banks, uses a digital token called XRP, which rose in value by 32,000% in 2017 and 2017. However, Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse does not consider XRP or other major tokens to be a cryptocurrency, as they are not widely used for day-to-day transactions. He believes these digital assets only have value if they solve a business problem. Despite his view, the term cryptocurrency has become the common term for this asset class.
And there are a very small number of banks who dominate that, and they extract billions of dollars of profit from the rest of the banks. They sit on the top. When you ask why is Jamie Dimon, saying things about, Jamie Dimon, well, actually, Citi is kind of number one, HSBC is probably number two, but JPM is way up there at the top, and they're making a lot of money from other banks. When we go talk to banks, 99.9% of banks, they're like, we want Ripple to be successful because I'm sick of paying these guys and they're taking a lot of money from me that I then have to take from my customer. And why do I want to feed Citi to be more competitive with me in this local market?
And if you mentioned Jamie Dimon, so let's bring it back to Jamie and JP Morgan. What do you think is going to be the thing that they will have to change the most or lose market share and somebody else is going to do better, faster, serve their clients better than JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs can?
You can just hear the bankers panicking right now.
But what
just
what
feel
line,
the panic in their voices.
What's the line
but here's
of business that is most
well. Here's what always happens. The first thing that happens is they try to go, oh, it's nothing, and they did that. I mean, that's with every new industry, every new technology comes along. The powers that be, the incumbents, the status quo, all say, it's nothing. Don't ignore the man behind the curtain. This is nothing. And then all of a sudden it's too big to get in there. They're going, oh my God, I got to face this thing. And then they all line up and they wrap their arms together and they say, we're not letting this happen. And then it keeps going. And then they say, okay, well, let's sue them. Or let's go get the government.
There's another thing they do. They adopt the technology. I think.
No, that's at the end.
They will adopt this technology.
No, this is the last thing they do. No,
yeah, it's like
it's after. It's after the press planting. They plant the press stories. They put out lawsuits. They create as much of a fuss as possible. They try to get their government friends involved. And then they go, oh God, this thing's happening.
Just in terms of that leasing model, we've seen lending companies during this cycle sort of come under a lot of stress. Now, these were companies, who were offering very high yield, but in the background, then lending that out at even higher yields. Yeah. And ultimately,
you get higher yields because you're taking riskier bets.
That's right. And ultimately an unsustainable model that came crashing down. So just in terms of your leasing model, are there any stresses there?
Well, our leasing, we try to be very careful. Our leasing model is focused on market makers with whom we partner. This isn't just, hey, we're lending out to get yield, where I think a lot of people were doing that. We work with market makers in order for them to make markets. Having XRP as part of their capital is useful. And so, I think we do charge some interest rate against that. But mean, again, you're talking about $35 million against a balance sheet between dollars and XRP that's 20 billion. I can't do the math on that. Maybe that's 15 bips. So, from a core business, like this is not material to what we do.
And again, just in terms of the healthier business, we've seen a lot of layoffs across the board, particularly at exchanges and other areas of the business. Binance the other day, however, said, well, we're planning to hire this year. What camp are you in?
Well, we publicly, when the layoffs in crypto started, we publicly announced we're still hiring. I think in Q2 last year, we hired 100 people. In Q3, we hired 100 people. Q4 is a little less than that, partly because of the holidays. We have no plans to do any layoffs. We're going to continue to grow and hire. And again, that's just, we sign more customers. We need more people to support those customers. We need, we're obviously building, well, not obviously, we're building new products that we are excited about. And even conversations I've had here in Davos, we have existing customers coming to us wanting help with other elements of the kind of crypto ecosystem. So like, 2022, I think will go down in history as one of the worst for crypto. But I think we lose sight. And I was at a panel that you and I chatted a little bit about yesterday, where someone was saying, well, $2 trillion of crypto evaporated. Well, between Facebook and Tesla, $2 trillion evaporated last year. Maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit. Add Tesla, Facebook, and Amazon, you for sure get $2 trillion. No one's claiming we shouldn't continue to invest in those companies. I think it's clear that low interest rates had driven a lot of froth in macro markets. And as interest rates have, the direction of travel on interest rates changed in the spring of 2022, lots of asset classes hit reset. We obviously saw some bad actors in crypto, and that added to the contagion.
We've got about 5 minutes left, so let's pick up on regulation and particularly first this lawsuit you've got going on.
What lawsuit?
That one.
That
lawsuit with the SEC.
I remember that one.
So that's still ongoing.
Yes.
How are you expecting to be resolved? Are you expecting to reach a settlement with the SEC, or just let the judge decide on this one?
So, as I mentioned earlier, we're now 2 years and 2 months in, or 2 years and 1 month into the lawsuit. SEC filed suit against us, saying that our sales of XRP represented sales of unregistered securities. And from the beginning, I thought it was very clear that the facts were on our side and the law was on our side. And I think as you have seen this play out and you've seen the filings in the court, that the judge certainly is hearing our arguments. There's been, I think, the SEC's behavior, and some of it has been, I would say embarrassing as a U.S. citizen. That just some of the things you've seen happen, you're like, you've got to be kidding. But look, it's now fully filed and fully briefed in front of the judge in the second district, and we expect a decision from the judge certainly in 2023. But you don't really have any control over when a judge makes their decisions, and I'm optimistic that sometime in the coming single-digit number of months, we'll have closure there. To your question about settlement, I mean, the problem here is the SEC, in particular Gary Gensler, has articulated a view that all crypto is a security. The only way that Ripple would settle, and I've said this at the very beginning, the only way we would settle is if there's clarity that XRP is not a security on a go-forward basis. So you have this conundrum where the SEC is saying all crypto is a security. We're saying there's only a settlement if we can say XRP is not a security on a go-forward basis. So the Venn diagram for settlement is, I think, zero. So I think we're going to end up letting the judge decide, and I'm very optimistic. And I think people here in this audience know, and here at Davos know, this case is very important to crypto, not just for Ripple. It's for the whole industry. And I think that the fight that we've been fighting really, in some ways, has been for the whole industry.
And in terms of the...
Thank you for making it to the end of the video. Comment token in the comments below to let me know you're a top support watching the entire video. God bless you all and have a great day.